Alessia and I are investors. We invest in companies, and so throughout the year we give business conferences where we get a chance to meet business owners and teach them and train them, mentor them, and then we typically mentor them over time periods, ultimately partnering with them in their business or investing in their businesses. So we are here running a conference. In the other room we have about 300 business owners that are learning and right now playing a game that's helping them network and partner with other business owners. And from there we'll start to discover good partners that will take on a journey with us and eventually partner with them in their businesses.
That sounds great. So we've had the honor to actually attend the seminar, and it's very exciting. We're not going to reveal too much though, because we recommend you come here yourself. But something about your history, what led you into this business, or what was the choices that made you choose to help other people?
Well, although our histories are different, of course, because for us it seems almost impossible, but there has been a moment in our life where we actually didn't know each other.
Spiritually, we've known each other for lifetimes, but we met 6 years ago, so some of our entrepreneurial journey predates our own meeting, and then some of it comes along afterwards.
That's right. But one thing that we have in common is that both of us, not that long ago, or really long ago, I would say, I don't know, depending how you see years, right? Possibly, 15 to 20 years ago, we started our entrepreneurial journey, and we were exactly in the same place where these 300 people that are in the room are right now. So we were running our companies, we were frustrated about the results, we were confused about all the things that we needed to manage, we were on the search for somebody to guide us, we were looking for proven systems that we could follow, and it was very difficult to find them. So as we figured out all these pieces over time, building our own businesses and starting new ones and trying new things and exploring different industries and looking at what worked and what didn't work, we created our own proven formulas and systems and strategies, and we learned from our mentors and we learned from people that we learned with. So right now our passion is to help people that are like we were, getting their success faster. Like, it took us a long time, it was a lot of effort, it took a lot of energy. We are passionate right now shortening that gap for other business owners, make it faster and easier for them to create the same success, so they can enjoy more of their life, have more of their time back, create more the money that they want, so they can take care of their families, themselves, and just help and support and impact the world with their gifts and talents.
You're talking about mentors. Well, what exactly is a mentor? Because in Sweden we have the working mentality. So what is a mentor and what does a mentor do?
A mentor does a lot of things, but probably the easiest thing to point out is that a mentor helps somebody anticipate the road ahead, almost like a GPS unit. If you want to get somewhere, you know where you are. Often someone is frustrated at where they are and they want to get somewhere to where they want to go, and they want to get there as fast as possible. And just like as we have been walking through the streets of Stockholm looking for great restaurants, we would locate a restaurant, we'd know where we want to go, and then we would use the GPS to get there the fastest. And of course, as we walk through the streets, there's so many streets that could be taken, right? Which one's the right one, and how do we get there the fastest? And that's what a mentor does, is they've been down that pathway before, sometimes many, many times. Between Alessia and I, we've created over 40 different companies over the last 20 years. Hers throughout Europe, mine throughout the US, some we went to other places. We've done businesses in Australia and Canada together and things like that. We've been all over the world. And students all over the world want to just know, what's the fastest path to achieve the impact, have the life that they want, more freedom, more time, and be able to earn the money that they want. So that's what mentors do. We help them anticipate all the challenges, we give them great systems to go faster, and we hold their hand through the challenges, because just because you have the recipe book doesn't always mean cooking the dish is easy, just knowing the steps.
That's great. You have been working with some other people. There might be some Swedes who might know some other people. Could you name some of the few mentors and co-workers you have done work with?
Sure. Well, over the years we've partnered with a lot of celebrities A lot of very famous brands who have either worked with us, partnered with us, brought us in to consult with them or their teams, and shared stages with them, done events, done charity projects. So we've had an amazing run of so many different great people like Sir Richard Branson, who we had the opportunity to work with many times. Kevin Harrington, who maybe is not quite as well known here, although he has launched some big projects in Sweden. TV Shop, I think, was one of his projects. And he is actually very famous in the States for the television show Shark Tank, which has become famous all over the world. I think each different country has created even a different knockoff or spin-off. Germany's got theirs and the UK's got theirs and everything. And so, him, we've had politicians we work with, Bill Clinton, for example. We've worked with Robert and Kim Kiyosaki over the years, the authors of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, very famous. And the list goes on and on and on. We're right now negotiating with several large celebrities to be bringing them in to keep teaching and sharing, because we love to hear people's stories. And we also love for entrepreneurs to understand there isn't necessarily one way, but there are effective ways. And of course, there are ways that things don't work, right? And there are ways that things do work. But it's fun to hear different people's stories to understand that you can be you, use a great system, and of course, all the successful people that we ever engage with, there's always a lot of crossover between what we've all done, between the branding that we've done, the marketing that we do, the sales systems, digital marketing, a lot of crossover, but each person has a different personality. And that's very inspiring to people to understand everybody's different characters, backgrounds, and then how they became successful and famous using the systems that we teach in our programs.
So a lot of the objectives that people have is, well, I have small children, we're doing different things with the spouses. How do you tackle that? Because
we don't know anything about children.
Well, when I transitioned out of my businesses that I was running before this, career in investing and speaking and training, I remember having a conversation with Kane actually around 6 years ago in London, and he said, well, if you would like to speak, what would be your message? Like, what do you want to stand for? And I remember thinking about that, and one thing that was really important for me was really to be a role model for women specifically, because I know that women face a lot of kind of special challenges, like they're really, connected to the fact of being a woman. First of all, when we think about a business person, most of us kind of picture a man, right? And so as women, and I saw that for myself as I started my own businesses, there's been a moment where I thought, well, in order to be successful, I need to act like a man, and I need to show up like a man, and I need to communicate or think or make decisions like a man. And that felt very frustrating, of course. It didn't feel like it gave me the possibility to express who I was. And then, of course, if you think down the line, which wasn't my case at that time, but when you have kids, now you feel like you are kind of in a situation where it's impossible to even run your business, because as a woman, you have responsibilities with your kids, you have the desire to be present for them, and these become almost obstacles to actually run a business. So my message from the very first moment I started this business, this career, was to show women that it was possible, just as Kane said, to be you, and for a woman to be feminine, to be multidimensional, to be just herself, and be successful. Now, from the moment I started, things have kind of evolved, of course, and at some point I became a mom myself, and as I faced all the challenges that every mom in the world faces when you want to, of course, be with your child and be present, and at the same time, be active in business and be a contribution and connect with people, I do understand how difficult this might feel, and yet I do think that it's very important. Of course, not every woman needs to do that, like we are all called different things, but if a woman feels like she has it inside of herself, she wants to contribute, I don't think we should see our children as an obstacle to our fulfillment, because in the end we are not happy, and then we can't be the mom that we want to be with them. Our frustration comes across in 1,000 of different ways that sometimes are very subtle, but are there. And so I think that when we find a way to, kind of balance it out. It's about balance, and a woman balances so many different things, right? And roles and responsibilities, and we want to be good moms and good friends, and good business people, and we want to, I don't know, cook for our family, and of course I'm Italian, so that's very important. So there are so many things, and it's all about finding balance. But really, so often we put our family as an obstacle, and it's not. It should actually be a reason to rise up and achieve our fulfillment, because we become role models for our kids. And we have a daughter, so for me it's especially important to show her that she can be herself, she can have kids, she can have a good relationship, she can have, the business life that she wants. But I think that for boys as well, it's as important to show them how to be and support a woman as they go out in the world and they come back to the family and they kind of fulfill on these different levels. So I think that that's not an obstacle. I think that could be an inspiration. And of course, does it make things a little bit more complex? Yes, it does. But that's exactly why having actually somebody guiding you becomes even more beneficial and more important, because you have less time. And so you need to be able to optimize the time. You need, the feeling of knowing exactly what you need to do in order to achieve your success and your goals and your targets, instead of kind of running in circles, becomes even more important when you are really, every minute counts.
Yeah.
So we work with a lot of women all around the world, a lot of people, women and men actually, that have kids. And they say, my time is important because every minute that I'm away from my kids, I want to make sure that I'm doing something that really matters for me, for them, and for the community that I'm impacting.
And we actually have a lot of couples that find us as well.
Yes.
Living proof.
Yes.
Yes.
Since, as business owners, we've launched several companies together, and husband and wife, man and woman, European and American. There's this interesting mixture, and we meet couples all over the world that are attracted to learning how to really drive their businesses to the success they want while keeping the balance of the family and understanding how to keep the sanity.
Exactly. That's something that we actually are approached with a lot, is that how can you spend 24/7 with your partner?
Yeah.
Yeah, that question comes up almost every time we're at an event.
Yeah.
There is somebody asking us, well, how does it work to work with your partner, and how do you make it work when things are not, going well? Because let's be honest, when things are going well, it's a lot of fun and kind of multiplies the fun, right?
Great sex, everything's happening.
Exactly.
Oh, what you say? It's on television.
Oh, sorry. Nobody has sex in the world.
Sweden.
Not on television.
But when it's not going well, or there's problems or challenges.
It's even better sex.
Well, there you have it. That's the key.
Be miserable and have great sex.
You see, we just don't spend enough time in Sweden. Otherwise, Italians have nothing on Swedes.
But that's also where you step in with the mentorship program.
Well, yeah,
help with that as
so
well.
our mentoring programs do focus on the tactics of business. And every business needs to understand how to be branding themselves properly, and marketing and acquiring customers and putting good business models together. But there's also the human side.
Yes.
The business owners are human beings, so they have emotions and challenges, and some are just individuals. They don't work with their partners or their families. Some work with their families, maybe brothers or sisters or best friends, or they work in family with their parents and children who are running their businesses, or couples, things like that. So every company is dynamically complex, really because of the business owner, not because of the business. We've worked with over 400,000 professionals in our trainings. We've had 3 million online and offline kind of find our videos, our trainings, our systems. They use it in their businesses. And we've personally mentored in our mentorship programs and our group programs about 60,000 businesses for the last 11 years. So every business is different, but yet a coaching business is a coaching business, A restaurant is a restaurant, right? So the fun complexity, the dynamic is navigating the business owner and having them learn the systems that work for their business, and then helping them integrate them in their own unique personality and style. 'Cause although systems are like cookie cutters, people are not.
No.
So although speaking, for example, might be great for some coach, another coach may not have the characteristics, skill sets, or personality for it. So our challenge, what we love, is we love to understand the individual or the couple or whoever's running it, and then take all of our toolbox of systems and help find the right match and then see them flourish, because that's really fun. And I think most business owners don't flourish or don't have success because they're trying to use techniques or systems that are not really suited for who they are or the market that they're in. And that's one of our expertise, is not just the tactics, but is understanding human behavior. You know, we've spent combined about 30 years in human potential and human behavior, understanding how the brain works, how humans work, how they become influential, how they can actually create results. And that little magical bean is or that magic dust, the Disney thing. that magic, our young daughter is really the Disney thing. That little
Our
magic.
young daughter would say, "Bibidi, babidi."
That's right. That magic dust is actually exactly what makes our students so successful, and that's what we've gotten written up for hundreds of times in media and through these interviews. Because people are having all this great success, almost where it's weird that they're having such massive success. But it is that gap closure of what's the right technique with the personality and the human potential.
Yeah, and that's what make you unique, is that you have these combination. You have the complete package.
Yeah, and
in contrarity to a lot of other mentors that you find in the market.
You actually talked about one of my favorites before, Tony Robbins.
Yeah.
I love to just sit and listen to him.
Yeah, it's great. We've done
gives
many
me a lot.
tours with Tony.
But you pinpointed something when it comes to him. If you want to know what it is, you should actually come to the podcast.
Yeah. Well, and that's what when I met Alessia 6 years ago, she didn't speak English. She spoke 4 other languages beautifully, but she didn't speak English. And it was magical and amazing that we found each other, because she had, in her own world, been studying very similar things that I had been studying for a decade. And when we came together, and she actually took on and integrated so quickly English, within a year and a half, she was lecturing on stages with me. And it was really fortuitous, really lucky that we found each other, because we have such great instincts together in both interesting dimensions and together to really help a holistic growth of the human being. And that's what's really unique, is that holistically we work together. I mean, I like to think, as much as I put time into how great I am, she sees things that I never see. And I'm like, wow, what an interesting perspective, and the same thing, from this side. And so we add to that as we coach and consult and advise and mentor, and then we look at the individual or the couple holistically from those eyes as well, and we can see really clearly. It's easier to see other people's blind spots, their gaps, what areas they need to develop, and then we can go to work on them holistically from both their mindset, as we say, a combination of heart, mind, spirit, and wallet all together to really help all 4 of those things unite.
And you also have a totally different approach towards inviting people in. It's not about the money, it's about something else. So people don't have to feel, I have to be a millionaire to come here and attend your seminars. It's a totally different approach.
Totally. I mean, I think most people here want to become millionaires.
Yes.
So
That's
they're
when they
not
come.
expected.
What brought
But
that
as
on?
investors, we actually are looking for earlier stage businesses. Now, we work a lot with service professionals. We work a lot with expert businesses, for example. People who are doing complex sales, meaning they have to sit down one-on-one. They do services, so there's this element of leap of faith. They might want to be running seminars or group coaching or retreats or using webinars or new technology. Lots of experts, lots of service businesses. We have a handful of retail companies. Retail's been very hard for people. Restaurants, salons, spas, product shops. They're going, how do I survive? And many of them are not using the techniques or thinking really like a business owner. As it turns out, there's not that many business owners in the world, comparative. There's only 3 to 5% of the whole world are business owners. So most people are raised by employees. They think like employees. They use the belief systems of employees in their businesses, and then they wonder why it's so hard to struggle. So whether we have real estate agents or investment people here, we have charity, people who own charities. We've got, what else? We've got technology companies that show up. We've got lots of product companies, especially with Kevin Harrington, who's been a product guru. They've got an invention or something super cool that they want to get out to the marketplace. And so it really doesn't matter what stage they're at. We even have people that haven't started yet. They're in jobs, but they've been accountants for 20 years or engineers for 20 years, and they say, but I can be doing this myself, creating my own life, earning the money that I want, and then working with the people that I love, setting my own hours and having the freedom that I want. Why am I doing it for somebody else? And so we got about a quarter of our students show up like that too.
That's great.
We're one of those.
How do people find you? What is the venue? What is the approach that you do to reach out to people? How can they find you if they don't know who you are?
Well, you're the one that.
As the marketing, digital
Exactly.
marketing part of the company.
This is your baby, love. This part of the business. How do they find us?
Well,
Tell them.
This is important.
Yeah, I mean-
how do they find you?
You know, I'd like to say we're super visible, but we don't really care to be super visible. I mean, we run conferences around the planet, so they can go to our sites, kaneandalessia.com. They can do some searches on us and find where we're going to have conferences. Alessia and I love our life. We take off 3 months a year. We spend our time with our children and, just living our lives and doing what we want. The rest of the year, we'll do conferences in select cities. Really, the cities that we think we'd like to go visit, have fun in, meet some great people in. So we were just recently in Denver, Colorado, but before that, we were in Hong Kong. And then before that, we were in Zurich, Switzerland. We've done these conferences in 26 different countries, and so they kind of have to just look online and see where we're going to be next, and find our tours and our conferences, and come join us at the conferences. And they can also go find us on YouTube, on Facebook. You know, we have a lot of training content out there, so they can learn and grow. And the fun thing is that we are investors, so we're looking for partners. We mentor and train as a courtesy. We had great mentors. We had lots of mentors that helped us with our businesses. We grew our businesses very quickly with great mentorship. And so we really kind of do it to give back to others. And then we look for the top partners to then take percentages of their company. And we have engaged mentor right now. We have about 1,100 businesses that we are engaged with around the planet. And a small section of those are in our portfolio where we partner with them very deeply. We might be running tours for them or taking their products internationally or building their online systems. And then we just have fun together. And we just see it. I'll tell you, the one thing that we love is we love conscious businesses. We love sort of new paradigm businesses. Businesses that are being guided by their hearts or by, changing the planet for the better. Like, we're big, organic food, and we love alternative medicines, and we're big cryotherapy fans, so we go freeze our bodies.
Probably they don't need that
once
here
a
in
day.
winter.
Yeah, they just have
Here
natural.
it's just that natural experience
That's right,
of
natural
going out.
cryotherapy. Yeah. So we're very into that, and we have students from Sweden actually who are doing things to help osteoporosis.
Yeah.
So that's what we love. We love to be working on those types of businesses.
Perfect. So for the next time you come here, which will be winter,
Probably.
we
Yeah.
will take you and let you into the polar bear club. You have to do the polar bear plunge.
Yes.
Oh my gosh! This already feels scary.
We've been to the
That's
ice
a great
bar.
challenge, right?
Yeah. Well,
Yes.
Don't get me any worse than cryotherapy. We've been to the ice bar. So actually used to live in Skåne. So we have a long-standing history with Sweden and the Nordic countries. We still have a Sommarstuga in Devistrand. And my son is half Swedish, so we have Swedish as the family language, and so we absolutely love it here as a culture. We understand the culture here for a long time. Even though we're not from here, it's just a very close bond with the country and the people. It's also an amazing area for women in leadership, women in business. It's an amazing place for equality, and the men are support. At least our experience, the men support that. The women are out there leading, and it's a very interesting place and a great time to be in Sweden for business.
You hear? They're actually complimenting Swedish men for being very supportive of their women.
Well, we find that. I know there's lots of jokes and that kind of. But actually, at the end of the day, we actually find the partnership here and the strength of the men and the women working together really beautiful. There's not that many countries that do it like that.
And presenting in so many different countries, all around the world, all year long. Even just as a woman presenting on stage, I can tell the difference. I mean, men here approach you with real interest and respect as a woman. There are cultures where we go in where you can tell that although I'm up there and teaching them things that they don't even know, but the men will never come to me for a question. They will only go to Kane just merely for the fact that he's a man. So we do see that as a very special thing in the culture. The support and the respect that men have for women, and as well the leadership of women here, their desire to be independent, their desire to be seen, their desire to contribute themselves. And it's very beautiful. It's a very beautiful element and balance inside of the culture.
Yeah, and I think that's the word, is the balance is important. We see a lot of out of balance cultures and experiences, and we're doing the best we can to work on that.
Yes.
We do our
Yeah.
part, and so we love it here. So it's a great place.
Well, we are very excited to have you here, and we're looking forward to attending the rest of the seminar.
Great.
And also, just make sure you be on the next seminar, because you do not want to miss this. Right.
You don't have afford it, actually.
Yes.
You
Well,
have some serious wake up calls.
And that's the thing. Every day there are great opportunities that are passing people by. And we had a mentor one time that said, it's not the opportunities that you take and you screw up that are really the problem. It's the opportunities that you never get because you're not ready for them. And that really hit me to think about, what am I missing, and how do I start to expand my awareness and expand who I'm being so that I can be attracting all the opportunities that are possible.
Well, and that talking about Swedish culture, we love the balance, we love the support from men, etc. And one thing that we work on every time we are here, and we work on with all of our students, is that we notice how the big desire for perfectionism in the culture. Yes. And so with all our students, our local students, we know that we really need to work on that. And very often we get asked, like, how did you create so much success? And maybe a Swedish answer would be like, we were so ready and so perfect all the time that success just happened to us. But if we look at what really happened, is that we were willing to be non-perfect. We were willing to be messy. We were willing to show up with all our imperfections.
Sloppy success.
And we're willing to just move forward and just keep doing things. And as Kane mentioned before, when we met just 6 years ago, I didn't speak English. And I remember the first times that I started to teach with him. And of course, I had built my companies. In Italy, I had built one of the companies from 10 million when I got it. I took it kind of from my parents' hands, literally, to 30 million euro per year. So I did have my experience, of course, and I did know my systems. But sharing them in English was a very different thing. And yet I was willing, in order to help people, to even look bad, because I didn't look that polished on stage. I wasn't able to express myself in a very articulate way yet. And yet I think that it's not about looking good, it's about helping people and really, fulfilling on your mission here on earth. Because we always think like, well, we will do that later when we will be perfect. And we really don't know how much time we have, and we don't even realize how many people are looking for our systems, our solutions right now. We're disappointing them because we're so focused on ourselves and on being perfect. That's the one thing that we keep working on with our local students, and the one thing that we feel like in the culture is also holding people back from creating the success that they could achieve, is the way to be perfect. And we are here saying, we will give you the systems, put in the systems, don't wait to be perfect, just start to take action, because that's what creates the biggest impact around you.
We have to thank you.
I have one more thing. What is the one thing that you would like to give to the people who has been watching now?
One thing.
You can
we
only
give 100
give them.
things?
You can only give one thing that you can tell them.
Well, I think it's to get a coach, get a mentor. When I was 20 years old, I was at the beginning of my journey. I was totally broke. I was $40,000 in debt, and I was sleeping on a friend's couch in San Francisco. This is where I started my first media company, which we ended up growing very successfully. But I remember I met a money coach when I was 22 years old, and I just started putting away a little bit of money. I had a few thousand US dollars in the bank, and I met him and I said, so I've got some money, what should I do with it? And he says, the first thing you should do is buy yourself an education. And it was great advice. And I hired a money that I would have missed my coach opportunity for a great education with a great person. So I think the most important thing is to get yourself a mentor on your team who knows where you should be going, how fast you should be going, what you need to be careful of. That's the first thing I would do with any business.
Thank you very much.
Thank
It's
you.
nice to be at your seminar. We're looking forward to the rest of it.
Thank you.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
great to have
Thank
you
you
here.
so much for having us.